everyone, welcome to Mastered. Today we are gonna do some simple example using Arduino Uno R3 board called a Blink. What you will need is preferably Arduino Uno R3 or any other Arduino board, a USB cable to connect the board to PC and power it. The USB cable for the Arduino is type AB. You will also need Arduino IDE, which we will download also from the description, and some jumper wires, a 220 ohm resistor, which is suitable for my LEDs, but you can use other resistors suitable for yours, a proto board, and also, of course, LEDs. Arduino board has physical pins. In particular, our Arduino Uno R3 board has 20 total amounts of pins. 14 of those pins are digital pins located right here, and other 6 are analog input pins. The 3rd, 5th, 6th, 9th, 10th, 11th of the digital pins are PWM pins. And the remaining pins are digital I/O pins. But we can use PWM pins as digital I/O pins, but you cannot do vice versa. Today we will only use digital pins. First, what we are gonna do is learn how to download Arduino IDE. To download Arduino IDE, use the link in my description. Then, you should choose the suitable downloading option for your operating system. In my case, I have a Windows, so I want to download an installer for it. You should just click this button right here. When the file is finished downloading, then simply open it and follow the instructions. And when you finish the installation, you now have the Arduino IDE. And you can do pretty amazing things with it. Now let's move on to the tutorial. Let's begin with Blink. So what this project does is it blinks an LED connected to the Arduino, and you can actually control blinking space. So let's open our Arduino IDE and get the coding going. So first thing you notice here is that there is an almost empty code. Like it's just a template. So we have 2 functions here. The first one is void setup, and then there's a void loop. The code that we will write in the void setup right here runs only once, when the board powers on, and remains until we cut the power to the board. But the code that we write in the void loop function starts and keeps looping until the board is powered again and again. First thing we have to do here is to define some integers which correspond to the Arduino's physical pins. It's done above the setup. So let's define integer LED as pin 13. This is how to do it. Int means integer, which is a primary data type for number storage. Syntax would be something like int variable is equal to value. Yeah? So where variable is the name of the variable, in our case LED, and the value is of course 13. Which corresponds to the 13th pin of the Arduino board. Never ever forget the semicolons. Okay, so now let's move on to the void setup. Let's define our variable as an output by using command pin mode. So, pin mode configures the specified pin to behave as an input or as an output. This is how it's done. You write pin mode, then the LED, and then output. Okay, now let's move on to the void loop. And keep in mind that the void loop repeats itself and loops itself until the power is on. Okay, now let's use the digital write command. Okay. So keep in mind that if the pin has been configured as an output with pin mode command, like we did here, its voltage will be set to the corresponding value 5 volts for high. in our case, or 0 volts ground for low. Now let's write our integer here, which corresponds to the 13th pin of the Arduino, and then the state, high. After this command, the LED will light up, okay? But for how long? Like, we don't want to keep it forever, right? That's when the delay comes in. So, let's say we want a LED to be lit for only 1 second. The delay command works for milliseconds. So, if I want it to be on for 1 second, I will have to use 1000 milliseconds, like this. So, now we have to turn the LED off. We have to repeat the same digital write command. We just have to change the state to low. Let's use the same delay right here. Just copy and paste. And now what this code does is that it blinks our LED in 1 second delay. The next step, of course, is the electrical circuit. So first thing we have to do is to connect positive side of the LED, which is in the most cases the larger leg, to the 13th pin of the Arduino. To do that, we need a breadboard and of course a wire. So we should put our LED here, then connect the wire to the positive side, the larger leg, and then connect it to the 13th pin of the Arduino, like this. Then we should connect the 220 ohm resistor to LED, like this. And then we have to use other wire to connect resistor to the GND, so the circuit is functional. Then we have to plug in the Arduino and upload the code. Make sure to choose the right board in here. It should be Arduino Uno in case you have the same board as me. And choose the right port. Okay, so you should click upload. The Arduino IDE app first compiles the sketch, and if everything is correct, then it is uploaded to the board. So, if everything went right, it should look like this. Congratulations on your first Arduino project. Welcome to the club. Now, let's do an example which you can show to your mom with RGB lights. It has 4 legs indicating red, green, blue, and the negative. In this case, the longest leg is the negative one. So we should put it right here. Then we should use the same resistor and connect it to the negative pin, like this. I'm sorry. Then we should connect this end of the resistor to the Arduino GND, and then use other wires for connecting for example, red to the 13th, then the green to the 12th pin, and then the last one to the 11th pin. That would be. Okay, so this is our connections. Then we should plug in the Arduino and make some adjustments to the code as well. So let's return to the code and add 2 more variables corresponding to Arduino pins. So let's just copy the existing one and just change values and names. Like name this LED 2 and this LED 3. And then it should be corresponding to 12th and it should be corresponding to 11th pin. So that looks great. Okay, so now we should edit the setup as well. Okay, let's copy this one and change just the names, like second and third. And let's copy the loop too. Okay, why not? And then change the names. Okay, so this would be LED 2, this would be 3, and 3. And I don't like this. Okay, this looks great. Okay, don't mess up the names. Be really careful. It won't look pretty, I promise. And that's all. Finally, we got a perfect LED blinking project. In the next video, we will learn how to use analog write command and fade LED. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe the channel and like the video. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. See you guys, bye!